Hello and welcome back to On the Workbench. Today we're taking a look at the Tekton 50-foot air hose reel. That is a 3/8 inner diameter hose with a 250 psi working pressure and a 1/4 inch national pipe thread size fitting. Now the thing about this one here, this has a full frame dual arm construction and is good down supposedly is flexible to minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. And it won't burst at 190 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's supposed to have a pretty wide range. I've had some cheap your plastic hoses, and they're just kind of junk. I got this actually for Christmas. I haven't opened this up yet in the box. It's now late March of 2017, and so I hope everything's okay. I haven't actually opened it up yet because I haven't been ready to go ahead and install this. I'm getting ready to do the installation in my garage now just to be able to have a pull-down hose reel. So I'm excited to be able to have that. And so let's see what you get in the box here. I've been wanting to add something like this to my shop for a while just to get the air hoses coming off my compressor off the ground. So as we come up top and we remove the first bit of cardboard, you can see across the top here we've got some instructions. And this comes with, looks like some pipe thread and a couple of adapters and some O-rings. We'll set that aside. Now we've got, that's just a hollow piece of cardboard. We've got another hollow piece of cardboard. Let's see what else do we have in here. That looks, and obviously you see the hose reel there. We've got some more cardboard to remove on the side. I've got to say I'm pretty impressed with how well it's packed. There was a silica packet I think that fell down. And then this slides right out. That's nice. This is going to make removal much easier. Alright, so now we've got it out of the box here and onto our workbench. And as we come off here, first of all, we can see we've got our lead end here on the side. Now there is no actual lead hose. Separately from Tekton, I was able to purchase a special lead end hose that they offer. This is I think this is a 2 or 3 foot, this is a 3-foot version. I'll be able to connect this to my piping system that I'm going to be installing. And so the hose reel here, you can see there's the detents on the side. You've got our lead end here. Looks like they're secured with a snap ring. It's nice black and red colors. We got a couple cautionary stickers here. And then on the end, where we'd attach our ultimate pipe fitting, this is nicely bagged and sealed. You can hear it ratchet. You've got 4-way sort of bearings here. It's got a nice plastic feel on the side here. The hose feels nice and rubbery to the hand. The stop, let's go ahead and take the baggie off. It's held on by a rubber band. We'll get the rubber band off later. But this stop here has a couple of screws and bolts that you can use to be able to adjust this, to be able to have whatever is hanging from your ceiling at whatever height is comfortable for you. So after that's out there, with the ratchet, slide all the way back up, and then it'll stop right there. Now bear in mind this is actually has some heft to it, so you're going to make sure whatever you attach this to is able to support the weight of this reel. There's the arm on this side and the arm on this side, and that was the big reason for me selecting this model for what I wanted for Christmas. There's some cheaper ones that only have arms running on one side, and just for as much security as possible with this hose reel, I wanted to be able to have the arms on both sides. For those of you wondering what came in the bag, one of the useful things here, there's a mounting template that shows you the position of the mounting holes. It recommends the use of 3/8 inch bolts, as well as a couple of lock washers and flat washers. And it gives the exact dimensions as 5 and 9/16 on center, left to right, and then from front to back, 7 and 5/16 front to back for those positions, so you can cut this out and mount that. And the instruction guide, it lays out a couple of options for how to attach this. First of all, there's our pipe thread for making sure our seals are tight. The replacement parts here are for going back and replacing the O-rings around the inlet. There's a couple of those, and the instructions on how to replace that are right here on screen. And so those replacement parts are provided. And then the metal part here is actually set up so you can take your lead end hose or whatever hose you're using, attach it to the back side here, and then you've got this loose nut here that you can use to get a wrench on to come around so you can tighten this down just in case you don't want to be able to get the fitting on your hose and you can't squeeze that in. You've got the extra fitting here that you can use for getting everything secure. Here's the hose reel after installation. You can see I got my whip hose goes up to my 1/2-inch black pipe. And then I've got my pull down here. Now the way I've got this rigged up in my garage is I had to use 2x8. I actually got two 2x8s because I wanted a spacer to get it over to where I needed it to get everything to line up. And so I've got this here where I can then pull this down. I went too far. And there's the stop. So if you look on the side here, you can see there's a little tooth ratchet there. That's only on one side of the reel. So it's only going to stop in a couple of places. Now it'll go all the way back up. But I can't stop it right there or right there. So there's only about, maybe about 20% of the degrees that the reel travels that you can actually stop it and hook this in the ratcheting position right there. And then down here I've got my fitting. Maybe I should have done this in brass. I don't know. I've always had good luck with steel fittings. It's recommended to be able to actually use another whip right here at the end so that you can replace the end in case that gets into some tight spots or you damage it and spill something on it. I don't know. I'll probably do that a little bit later, but I'm not going to do that yet. And then so I've got a black pipe that runs up across my garage ceiling, and then it comes down. And maybe you can't see that there, but then I've got a couple T's put together in series with some plugs on either end so I can expand my air system in the future. And then it runs down the wall. And then here I've got my whip that will then plug into my air compressor. I've got just this little plug here on it. All my fittings are industrial. I don't use the automotive fittings. I just stick with everything. So my brad nailers, all my nailers work well off the same fittings without having to worry about what's in use on either side. And then I've got a dryer and extra regulator here to keep the air dry coming out of it. And then over here, I've got an extra little drop with a ball valve where this goes down to another 1/4-inch industrial plug. That's actually on a little bit of a ball swivel there. And so this does two purposes. Number one, if there's any accumulated water in the pipe, I can open this up and then drain the water out through the plug. Or number two, I can open this up and actually hook another hose right here onto this fitting to be able to get a second hose should I need something else hooked up to it. And so that's a look at my Tekton retractable hose reel. I hope you found this video useful and have a great day. Bye.